Hey, Thunder Pocus here. Today I'll recap a 2018 drama movie, name, Family Practice, also known as Sohn minus Vaters. Film starts with Simon, who's living a great life with his girlfriend, Fabian. Simon is an aspiring artist while Fabian runs an art gallery. One day, Simon is going to attend his father's 60th birthday. He has brought Fabian along, and he's a little nervous about it. He gets to his family home, and there he sees his father, Carl, who is praying along with his friends. Simon's mom, Agnes, is also there. While the men are praying, Simon notices a woman named Carl's mistress, Sonia. After the prayer, people are enjoying their food when some guests ask Simon why he left medical school. Simon's dad is a great writer and also a psychologist, and he says that he endorses Simon's choice to pursue his artistic career. Fabian also chimes in and says that Simon has been nominated for an award for his work, and this makes his parents proud. Later on, he's talking to his mom who says that she needs help with Carl's new book. She wants Simon to transcribe his dad's lectures into a book, and in the process, he can get paid handsomely. Simon, on the other hand, says that he's too busy with his art right now. He notices that his father is alone in a room with Sonia, who is also his secretary. Simon's mom also sees that, and out of nowhere, she starts having a seizure. This upsets Simon, but apparently, this has happened to Agnes before. He talks to Fabian about it on their way home, and the next day, Fabian leaves early to get some work done. Simon goes after her on his bicycle, and after reaching Fabian's office, he shows her his new sketches. They are going to have an exhibition in 3 weeks, and so far, Fabian isn't satisfied with Simon's work. They're talking about it when Agnes comes in. She takes Simon outside and begs him to transcribe the book so that she can go on a vacation with Carl. She says that without Simon's help, she would have to stay back, and Carl will take Sonia, and that might escalate their romance. Simon doesn't want to work for his dad, but he wants to help his mom, so he agrees. Fabian is worried that this extra work will affect his art, but Simon says that he will manage. He goes to his family home where Carl explains how he will turn his lectures into a book. They are discussing this when Carl admits to having a relationship with Sonia. He says that he is in love and feels bad that Sonia will have to stay back and help Simon with the book. After his parents leave, Simon gets to work, and in the evening, he is at the awards ceremony with Fabian. He knows he will not win, but he still gets disappointed when someone else is awarded the prize. Fabian assures him that his work is top tier, and he will soon get all the recognition in the world. The next day, Simon is transcribing when, during the lunch break, Sonia complains that because of him, she wasn't allowed to go on a vacation with Carl. This makes Simon angry, and he tells her that she shouldn't feel special because Carl is a known womanizer and he will find some other girls pretty soon. These comments disturb Sonia, and she tries to correct Simon, but he just doesn't listen to her. After getting home that evening, he tries to draw something, but he is feeling uninspired, so instead, he spends his time talking to his roommate and feeding the dog outside his apartment. The next morning, he notices that Sonia is talking to Carl and saying that she isn't a toy that he can use however he likes. Simon's enjoying their argument when he receives a call from his dad. He tells Simon that he shouldn't talk to Sonia about anything but the work since it can ruin his own relationship. The very same day, Carl's manager tells Simon that Sonia used to be one of Carl's patients, and this information intrigued Simon a lot. Later that day, a young woman is looking for Carl because he invited her to his clinic. When Sonia sees this, she asks the girl to leave, but the whole thing upsets her. After the end of his shift, Simon is looking to transfer his work to a flash drive. He goes to Sonia's office, but there he finds her crying. She's trying to wipe her tears, and Simon offers her a box of wipes. When she hugs him, he comforts her by saying that everything will be okay, and this is when she kisses him. This shocks Simon, and he leaves the office immediately. He meets up with Fabian that afternoon, but he can't stop thinking about Sonia, even when he's with his girlfriend. The very next day, he is sitting in his office trying to work, but he can't stop thinking about the kiss. So he goes to Sonia's office and asks if the kiss meant anything, but Sonia says that it was just a spur-of-the-moment thing. Simon doesn't like her answer, and when she goes for lunch with another colleague, Simon decides to look at her past. He opens the cabinet and takes out Sonia's file, but before he can read it, someone knocks at the door. He puts the file back and goes outside to see a man holding a bouquet of roses. He finds out that Carl sent those roses for Sonia. This makes Simon jealous, so he takes the roses outside and throws them in the garden. He then goes to have lunch with Fabian, but there he sees that Fabian is trying to recruit the same guy who won the artist award. Simon doesn't want to be there, so he goes back to the office where Sonia asks him about the roses. He says he doesn't know about them. He notices that she's talking to his father, so he listens to their conversation. He's upset to know that his father considers him a crazy person. He's filled with rage, so before he leaves, he tells Sonia that she shouldn't feel too proud because Carl evaluates her the same way he evaluates everyone else. He then takes a train and goes straight to Fabian's office, but there he sees her talking to that new artist. He's grabbing a drink in the kitchen when his dad asks him why he's creating problems at work. Simon says he doesn't want to work anymore, but his mom tells him that he should keep working on that book, otherwise, their marriage will be ruined. All of this pressure is crushing Simon, and he ends up having an argument with Fabian, who says that she had to hire a new artist since Simon is unable to work. After this argument, Simon gets on the train and goes back to the office where Sonia is trying to find the key to the cabinets. She wants her file, and Simon gives her that. When he goes back to retrieve it, he notices that Sonia is really sad after reading Carl's remarks. She starts kissing Simon once again. To find some privacy, they leave her office and sneak into Carl's house. There, Simon and Sonia end up sleeping together in his parents' bedroom. After this romantic session, Simon cleans the sheets before getting into the car with Sonia, who drives him to the city. She says that he can always hang out with her, and this makes Simon extremely happy. He's finally starting to feel good about himself, but things take a bad turn when his flatmate tells him that Fabian has been extremely friendly with a new artist. That evening, he goes to a private party where Fabian is singing a love song for him. It's clear that she loves him, and she's having a good time. She sits down with Simon and gives him a kiss, but this is when Simon tells her that he slept with Sonia. This breaks Fabian's heart, and she doesn't even know what to say. She says that there is no way to save their relationship and walks out. After she leaves, Simon is checking his phone when Sonia invites him over. He's feeling lonely, so he quickly gets to her apartment, and she takes him upstairs. They start making out and end up making love to each other. They're enjoying their relationship, and Sonia even prepares a meal for him. Simon, on the other hand, says the prayer and blesses everyone. He sleeps at her place, and when he wakes up, he learns that Sonia has gone to the market. He's looking at Sonia's picture with his dad when out of nowhere, Carl walks into that apartment. He is shocked to see his son there, but Simon is also surprised to learn that the apartment belongs to Carl in the first place. Carl understands the situation and tells Simon that Sonia always wanted a baby, and since he can't give her that, they have been having a lot of problems. They're talking about this when Sonia comes back and gives Simon a kiss in front of Carl. Carl tries to talk to her, but she tells him to leave. When Simon is getting his pants, he realizes that Sonia used him to make Carl jealous. He confronts her about it, and she admits to it. All of this starts messing with Simon's head, and he keeps hearing some ringing in his ear. He somehow gets back to his apartment, but he's feeling extremely nauseous. Suddenly, he gets a call from Agnes, who says that Carl is going to move in with Sonia. Simon is still on the phone when Agnes starts having a panic attack. He's worried about her, so he quickly gets there, but his mom is doing okay. She starts talking to him about Sonia, and she's blaming him for everything. She even tells him to grow up and stay away from them because he's only caused them problems. Her words really hit Simon hard because he feels that no one loves him anymore. He goes to Fabian's studio and begs her to forgive him, but she tells him that he is clearly not thinking straight right now, so he should stay away from her. After getting rejected from this place as well, Simon goes back to his apartment and destroys all of his artwork. He then starts having some sort of an attack and passes out. He wakes up in a hospital to see his dad, who is happy to see him. Carl tells his son that he never wanted to overwhelm him with his private life. Simon blames him for ruining his mom's life and making her psychotic, and these words make Carl emotional. He says that even though he loves Agnes and wants to stay with her all his life, he also wants to be with Sonia because she truly makes him happy. A few months later, Simon is now enrolled in a medical school, and he goes to see his father during the release of his book. There, Simon sees Sonia, who is pregnant with his child. He also meets his mom, who still hasn't given up on her husband. Simon asks her why she wouldn't leave him, and she says that she wants to take care of Simon's child since Sonia clearly isn't up for the job. Sometime later, Simon is back at home for another party where Sonia hands him his son. After looking at his baby, he forgives Sonia for using him like that. The family take a group picture while Simon thinks about his future. And with that, the movie ends here.